Today on Smackey's Garage, we're going to be installing this JLT catch can on my 2018 F150. We're going to go ahead, we're going to walk through it step by step on the install, but we're also going to see does it have any benefits to an engine like this 5.0 over an EcoBoost. So let's go ahead, let's jump into it. So catch cans, why do you need one? Now, modern engines have PCV systems or positive crankcase ventilation systems where their main goal is to route excess blow-by gases back into the intake of the engine to burn them. Now, the issue with this is if you're routing all those gases and those contaminants back into the engine, it's going to cause some carbon buildup on the valves. In turn, is going to hurt fuel mileage and overall performance. So what a catch can does is it's going to take those PCV gases and contaminants, it's going to flow them through into this can, and within this can there's going to be a screen or a filter or a mesh that's going to capture and cause the oil and chemicals to slow down. When it captures them, it's then going to drip them into this because they're not in the air anymore, and when it does that, you're going to have this filling up over time with those contaminants. Over time, this will fill up, and we're going to see on my 5-liter how quickly does this fill up. Today we're at about 91,000 miles. We'll check it at the 1,000 mark. If there isn't any, we'll check it at the 5,000 and see how much actually stacks up. And then this is going to be easy to install and maintain. And it's just like doing an oil change. All you have to do is take this, unscrew it, and dispose of it correctly. So let's go ahead and install this on the truck. So this wire right here just is going to be removed by pulling it up and out of place. And what they provide you with is this clip right here. So this clip is going to go in place where that is today. Then we're going to take this bracket that they provide us and screw it into that clip. Now with that in place, you can see that bracket is installed. We're going to drill a hole right there on that second location, and we're going to use a 1/4-inch drill bit to do that, and then we're going to put another one of those clips in place. Take this clip, I'm going to slide it underneath, and then we'll put the bolt in. For the backside, I ended up using the nut that was provided. It was a much better solution than the clip, just from the standpoint that the clip wasn't fitting that well because I didn't drill the hole as close to the edge as I probably should have, but there wasn't anything really clear on that. So if you're going to do this, you could use either the nut or the clip. Both work. All right, so now we're going to go ahead, we're going to mount this on a bracket. It's important to note that this 90-degree fitting is going to go on the PCV valve, where the 45-degree fitting is going to go on the intake itself. Now we can see the PCV line on the engine. It's going from here on the intake to here to the PCV valve itself. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to remove this, and then we're going to put the clips on in its place. All right, so it looks like the intake side is already at 45 degrees, so I'm just going to pull on this tab here and lift. That should come out. PCV is over here on the valve cover, so similar. That one is going to be a pull the little tab and then lift out of place, so there we go. You can see, actually, if you look at my PCV already, it's covered in oil. So there is definitely some oil going through my system. Then we're going to go ahead and connect it. So 45 degrees is going up to the intake. Camera on it. These are definitely some long hoses. Just push down, should go into place. Clips into place. I'll do the same thing with the PCV over here. So you get the 90 degrees, push it in, it'll clip into place. And everything is held in. All right, so it looks like we're all installed. We're at 91,000 and something miles. Let's go ahead, shut this, and then we'll check it very soon when I hit an extra 1,000 miles. All right, now it's been a few weeks. I've been commuting this back and forth to work. Nothing really heavy duty with it, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna see how much oil is collected in that little reservoir. I think previously I was at 91,900. Now I'm about 92,900. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, any guesses if there's going to be any oil in it? Nothing's leaking, which is good, so it's operating like it's supposed to, I guess. I can see some oil on the top as I'm taking it apart. Yep, definitely some junk in the... Wow. It actually collected quite a bit. It's going to be hard to see, so I'm going to... Let me get a stainless tray to put this on. There's a good amount of sludge in there. So we're going to go ahead and pour this out, and we're going to see what comes out with it, and let me tell you, it is pretty gross. You can see all the material that comes out with it, and this is what goes into your intake system and what actually gets burnt off. So after doing this, that's a crazy amount of sludge that this has actually collected. All right, so it's actually been about another 1,000 miles. We're going to go ahead and check this out. So we're at about 93,800 miles, which means we got another 1,000 miles on it. And I wanted to check it again because it really seemed like a lot of oil that was in this. So we're going to take it out. We're going to actually measure how much oil's in it and see how much collected. We'll look at, is there sediment versus nothing. So this is going to be after another 1,000 miles. So I changed it at 91,800, 92,800. We checked it first time. Now we're at 93,800. Yeah, no special tools required to take this off. It's nice that it's knurled like this, so it's not too bad. And is there going to be anything in there? Yeah, and it's pretty gross. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to pour this in and then we'll take a look. This is just why I have this. All right, let's see if we can do this without making too much of a mess. It's not the cleanest, but it's going to work. So I'll go ahead, I'll let this settle for a little while, but also we'll take a look at what's left in here. All right, so left in here, this is pretty gross. I mean, you can see all the sediment and everything left behind from the engine and just from the oil, things that would be picked up and put into the engine. So this is essentially what this is capturing. All right, so what we have here is about 20 milliliters of engine oil. So more than I was expecting. You know, this, I actually don't know what the capacity of this is, but it probably does need to be changed out every time we're going to be running the car. So I guess the question is, what does this actually mean? For me, it means that I need to change this pretty much every 5,000 miles when I do my oil. You know, if I'm waiting for 10,000 miles, it's probably too long and this is going to get too much. I mean, if it is 20 milliliters per 1,000, I'm talking about 200 milliliters over 10,000 miles, which would fill up 2 of these, which is a significant amount of oil. This is really interesting to see. I didn't expect this much oil to get caught up in there with this. You know, for me, I'm happy I did it. It's up to you if you want to install this on your truck. You know, if you do, it's just going to be another maintenance item that you have to take care of, but it's also going to keep this outside of your engine, and it's not going to be going in. And it's definitely going to be more of a benefit on the turbo engines. If you do want to pick this up, I'll go ahead. I'll leave it in the description below. Thanks for tuning in to Smackey's Garage. I'll see you next time.